Hey guys, I know I'm a touch late with this video given this is, Christmas art, a New Year's video in January, but we're gonna ignore that because your girls had a long couple of months and I really need a fresh start for 2022. Before I get into my resolutions for this year, I think it's important to talk about how I go about setting goals for my life and work. Last year, I really felt I didn't create effective goals, and I've learned a lot about myself and motivation since then. I found that my goals for 2021 were either unattainable, out of my control, or just too nebulous to count towards any meaningful growth. For 2022, I've tried to make goals that I'll be able to reasonably work towards and that aren't too strict as to discourage me if I'm unable to achieve everything I want to. To start my goals off, one thing that probably comes as no surprise to people who've been following me for a while is that I really want to produce more YouTube content this year. Creating character design content in particular appeals a lot to me right now, but I'm still trying to figure out my niche and what I generally just enjoy creating. Alongside that though, I do want to try posting more on TikTok. Even if I just end up repurposing content from my other socials, the power of that algorithm is too tempting to resist. To be honest, I find most TikTok art content kind of boring to make though, so I'm not quite sure how I'll fall into it yet, but I'm gonna try and expand my horizons. Speaking of general social media stuff, a big goal I had set for myself in 2021 was to get better at networking on Twitch, which I genuinely think was a bit too vague for what I really wanted. Instead, this year, I'm trying to do some more stream/YouTube collabs. I can be a touch shy when reaching out to people I don't chat with regularly in the DMs, so I think starting small would be a good way to progress. I don't know. For my streams, one thing I do desperately need, though, is either better lighting or to switch out my green screen for something else. Maybe also get a traditional filming setup going if possible, but that's more of a YouTube thing. I'd probably just film with my new phone since the camera's pretty good, and ideally I'd like to get a little clamp and hook it onto my desk. We'll see what I end up finding, because I've already had to return one. I'm not sure if I'll actually be able to stream traditional art because of my setup yet, but it would be an added bonus. I feel like I have a lot of goals centered around content creation this year, and maybe that's just my motivation for right now. Although, one thing I am avoiding doing this year is setting follower goals. I did not meet mine last year, which granted were semi-ambitious, but I thought it would push me to work harder. Ultimately, I found it just discouraging because no matter how hard I work, follower count is inherently out of my control. It's not something that can be actioned since other people make the choice to follow me. Speaking of which, is this a good time for the subscriber plug? I think that's a good segue. Be sure to follow me on Twitch too, because I show my cat sometimes, and he's pretty adorable. Like, that was 90% of my motivation to get a webcam last year, just saying. As for the actual art side of things, I want to try to update my webtoon more. This is one of those things that I feel like I really need to work on speeding up the actual process, since the amount of work that goes into each page currently isn't doable for my schedule that I want. We'll have to work on that. But I did recently discontinue my Patreon fan art polls, with the last one ending in December. I'm hoping this will give me more time to work on Arcturus and YouTube content, but also the occasional more meaningful and technically impressive illustration. I'm honestly at the point where I just want to do more than thigh-up portraits for once. I do also want to make a point to repost older art too, since it's doing nothing for me when I have this huge catalog of stuff I've made in the past. Like, let's let it make the rounds again on Twitter. Half my followers probably haven't even seen it anyways. For traditional stuff, I'd like to do more sketchbook work in my free time and hopefully actually finish one. We'll see. That probably sounds like no big for most of you, but since 90% of what I do is digital these days, my sketchbook has been pretty barren. I did get a new one a few months back that's been much more creatively fulfilling than the one I had before. I would love to do one of those fancy art YouTuber sketchbook tours for it eventually, at some point. Hey, I might even light a candle for it, who knows, really. On the more business/educational side of things, I'm making it a goal of mine to take both art courses and thinking your typical Skillshare stuff, as well as some proper college courses. Currently, I'm thinking about concept art and business courses. I do have some scholarship funds from that time I didn't go to film school because my organs were trying to kill me. So we'll see what's out there. On top of that, I do need to revamp my resume and portfolio site since they need to be cleaned up a bit. I'm mostly thinking about the portfolio right now since I'm not huge on the layout, but I haven't started that yet. I also wrote down making an art station for this year, but I'm pretty sure I do have one and it's just gone unused. I think I may have done the same thing that I did with my Twitter originally, where I just reserved the name and forgot about it. Guess we'll find out. Besides that, and my normal freelancing, I'd also like to make more digital products. Currently, I'm thinking about stream assets, maybe some D&D stuff, I don't know. But I'd love some ideas. Personally, the idea of passive income has always been very appealing, and I've seen a lot of artists have success with it in the online space, so why not? I definitely want to get my full driver's license this year too. My grams did get me some lessons for this Christmas, which I'm really excited about. I don't have a ton of non-work life goals, but that's a big one for me. I also do need to work out some of my back and shoulder muscles, which I've only been to one physiotherapist appointment. I have another this week coming up. But he says that should help my general hand and back and neck pain, working out some of the muscles in my back, which I know have gone very much unused in recent times. Hand pain has been a huge stress for me in 2021. I didn't have enough of that already, apparently. So I just want to do my damnedest to get this under control this year. So hopefully when I see him, he'll give me some more tips for weightlifting, which scares the hell out of me, by the way. I'm a tiny person. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, I guess that's most of it. As much as I am very much a goal-oriented person, I know I need to be careful with how much I expect from myself. Drawing at my desk all day has very much become a habit over the last couple years, and I think I need to find a bit more balance in my life, especially since it seems my body is catching up with my stationary lifestyle. If you are new here, be sure to like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. Honestly, I want to put out more content this year, so maybe encourage me to do so. I would like to talk to you guys more. If you haven't already, you should follow me on Twitch too. I'll leave that down in the description because, you know, we've been over it. You should look at my cat. He's a very handsome boy. Okay, cool. Till next time, I guess.